She's a riveted still.
Lou.
There she is. There she is.
Welcome to Jill's.
Hmm.
Greetings and felicitations.
Hello and welcome to Indefinite Lunch in Infinite Combinations, number 195. This is the 195th show. And we're continuing to discuss For All Mankind, Season 5, Episode 4. First aired on April 17th because, it's Friday. It's aired on Friday and then I review it on Tuesday. And so this episode spans the time frame between June 2012 and July 2012. And the name of the episode is called Open Source. It was written by Sabrina Almeida and directed by Mira Menon. All right. Okay. So this is the very first episode without Ed Baldwin at all. He has passed. And we're going to talk about this episode today. And it could be fun. We finally know what's inside the box, so they didn't drag out the mystery box all the way to the end of the season, which I am very, very happy about. That is such a relief. That's kind of the most annoying thing in the world in TV these days, and Ronald D. Moore avoided it. Not only that, he brings up a really great topic, which is relevant to today, technologically, and we'll get into it. It has to do with what's in the box. And I'd like to say hello to Gavin, Gavin Blackburn. Although, since I keep saying it, shouldn't I play it? If I can find it anyway.
What's in the box?
I just like that clip. FKHC 2005 is here too. Hello, Tim. So Gavin was first. Yay, Gavin was first. And Tim is claiming the 69th spot. I don't know that there are going to be 69 chatters today, but I like that. I like your optimism. Gavin says this is going to be the Titanic. What? Oh, okay. Oh, let me see if Rumble is working yet. Let's see. Oh, yes, it is. Okay, great. I don't know if anybody's over there, but I'm trying to give it a little more attention over there. Trying to get hours up on that end because there are certain things you have to do to be a partner, and I just partner on the Rumble side, and so I'm working on that. It'll take a little while. Get on with it. Oh, here I am. Here I am. Kevin, Theme Park Adventures says hello to Tim. Hey, Kevin. Good to see you, as well as it's good to see a good place. How are you today? Anybody following this show? Anybody know what this episode's about? If not, I will tell you, so you don't have to worry. Lemon, hello, Lemon and Jamie. You're early. You're early. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very good, very good. Well, and we do have slides. Of course, I'll be jumping in and out of the slides because apparently I have to act as if I am a human who is interacting with the slides organically and not just showing them. I don't know. No, you know what? I'm just trying to guess at what I'm doing here. I don't know what YouTube's problem is, but it's got a lot of problems right now. But we're not talking about that right now. I just get a little frustrated by it sometimes. But let's look at the slides here. This is in small format. I can remove the slides. I can add them. And I can make it a little bit bigger. And we can see it. Or I can make it a lot bigger. And we can see more of it. Or we can move it and I am tiny. And there we go. So also, yes. Okay, so let's talk about the episode. Why not? Okay, so of course it starts with Alex and Kelly. They're packing up all the things that belong to Ed because it's his habitat. They're in a, they're on Mars. They're on Mars, but being on Mars, if you're a human, you do the same kind of stuff you do on Earth. Somebody passes away. You've got to go through all their old things and organize them and figure out what to do with them. And that's what Alex and Kelly are doing. And so here's that happening within the structure of the slides. There's the elderly version of Ed Baldwin here with Alex. And as we continue through, oh, hey, FKHC, Tim is on the green machine. There's a younger version of Ed Baldwin. If you watch the entire series, you get to see him get older and older and all of that. Oh, Tim is over there. Yeah, on Rumble. I see you. I see you. Good, good, good. It's working. I'm glad. I'm glad for that. Got to keep your options open. And of course, there's reminiscent. And he finds his book called The Sand Pebbles. Has anybody in the chat read The Sand Pebbles? I've never read it, but apparently it's a war book about the war. Um, and apparently Ed used to read this to Alex when he was a little kid, which kind of shocks Kelly a little bit. Kelly is a little surprised. Probably wouldn't have been appreciative of that if she had known before, but no, that's good. That's the great thing about grandparents. They show you a lot of cool stuff your parents probably won't. And of course, we're looking at more pictures. One with Gordo. Yeah, Alex says, I loved it. I never heard a story like that before. But Alex is upset, and I'm upset too. They can't give Ed a memorial service or a funeral because of his criminal actions. That doesn't make any sense. How many times have you heard of somebody not getting a funeral because they're a prisoner? They're dead. People are going to mourn them. People are going to want to pay respects to the dead. It doesn't matter what they did, especially because who cares what he did to steal the asteroid? He that doesn't take away his Purple Heart. The fact that he was an astronaut and a pioneer, and all the things he did for humanity completely outweigh the politics of taking an asteroid. Martian law is nuts. I think that's the point. I think that's the point of this whole thing is that Mars does not know what it's doing law-wise. You don't have any rules, as they said in the last episode. You don't have a Bill of Rights. There's no constitution. There's nothing tying Mars together. It's just dangling there at the mercy of the politics of the worlds that have agreed to come together to live on the planet. And so none of it makes any sense. Ed should have a funeral. I don't get it. It's completely insane. And I wish Phil or somebody were here to tell me, maybe I'm wrong, but I think I'm right here. Because even though Ed did get in trouble for stealing the asteroid, but call it stealing, but who should the asteroid belong to? The whole point of keeping the asteroid on Mars is so that Mars can gain some sense of independence, and that's what this season is really about, Martian independence. And I mean, geez, just because someone's sentenced to house arrest shouldn't be mean that they're not allowed a funeral service. Gavin says Jill is always right. I'm sorry to say, I do appreciate the support, but it is possible for me to be wrong. In fact, I have been wrong lots of times, and I'm surprised nobody ever calls me out on it. This is so this is bonkers, and I guess the writers are trying to make the M6 leadership look shaky, like they don't know what they're doing or oppressive. And they're definitely succeeding if that's their goal. My suspension of disbelief is broken though. You know, somebody dies, you give them a service. Anyway, and then Alex asks about heaven. He asks Kelly about heaven. But first let's bring back the slides for a second. See what happens here with the visuals of the episode. There it is. There's the Purple Heart. That right there. He should not only be getting a service, he should be getting a military salute with the Martian safe weaponry. Come on. I'm outraged. I don't like this. Okay, and then is this where she's talking about? Yep. That's where Kelly is saying that she doesn't actually believe in heaven, but she does believe that people that we've lost stay with us. And so that's her personal philosophy. And Lily shows up to invite them downstairs. This was Lily. That's Lily. She's cute. And there's because there's going to be a huge memorial downstairs in Ed's honor because since there's no funeral, but everybody still wants to pay tribute. So this is what makes up for not having the funeral. And since I'm alone here, do I sound good, everybody? I don't know. I like to do sound checks with the people backstage, but I didn't have any people backstage today. Although I should do sound checks on my own. So I don't have to worry about that. But he did do a lot of origami, so there's a lot of history here and all of these things, like Easter eggs are all over the place. But I didn't really take the time to find them all, but I'm sure somebody's gonna rifle through all of this and tell you what's going on. Oh, thank you, Gavin. That's good to know. Hero, mentor, friend. Thank you, Admiral Baldwin. You'll be missed. May you rest among the stars. Ah. The solar system's best astronaut. Aw, and you can tell some of this stuff was made by kids. It's really sweet. So, this makes up for the idiocy of the leaders in charge of Happy Valley. And later on in the episode, they say this has been put up for a month. So if Kelly's just seeing this for the first time, this must be set in June right now. I don't know when it suddenly becomes July. Yeah, but it goes from June to July, right in the time span of this episode. Oh, let's see who we have here. Here's Philip. Hello, welcome to Philip. Da, 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 da. How are you doing?
Hey, sorry about that. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, no, I was just complaining that Ed didn't get a funeral because, who cares if he did some unlawful things and had to be on house arrest. Criminals have funerals all the time. It makes no sense to me. I know it's politics or oppressive regime things, but it's not something I've ever heard of.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see that. I mean, they're kind of doing everything they can at that point to, start this revolution before there's even a gunshot fired.
Yeah. Well, there should be. I mean, not there should be a gunshot in terms of honoring his military service. That's just where's the patriotism here?
21 guns. But yeah.
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 Yeah, I'd be happy with just one. Gavin says it's almost as good as Captain Picard Day. See, yeah, I know. Look at all this stuff. This is a good memorial, so it's better than it's not bad. Kevin's here. Hello, Kevin. And yes, this episode definitely amps up the rebellion, the Martian independence movement, especially right at the end, which I am very happy today. That I said earlier, we finally find out what is in the box. And so then we move over to, oh yeah, Admiral Baldwin's rye. I'd like to try that. And there, that shows how packed it is.
Yeah.
And the name of the episode is Open Source. Toby Kebbell is the first name now instead of yeah, so Ned's not there. Mariella Eddie. Cynthia Wu. We got
Yeah, we're pretty much, because I don't even think Margot is in this episode either. So
Margot is not in this episode, but we get a surprise. Danielle is here. Coast of Ronin. Sean Kaufman. So at least we get one of the original in the episode. Ruby Cruz.
Little brief cameo, but for the most part, none. I mean, I can't think of anybody from the main cast that's been around since season 1 that's here permanently anymore.
Yeah. Well, she's quit. She's living her best life and hanging out and, raising her granddaughter.
It's true. I mean, it was this scene right here that just it didn't dawn on me until like right when it was said, and I had like a shiver when I heard it.
That is Danny's girl.
Yeah.
This is Avery.
Yeah.
And she's undergoing a polygraph test. Although, I know those to be kind of bogus, but they're using it. And Major Luke Maxwell, he's in charge of the test, and he's asking about her family and how she's been expelled from high school or suspended. I don't remember. Okay, suspended. Oh, just suspended, not even expelled. But she got in trouble for getting into fights that she didn't. She says she didn't start, but she finished them. And she says she doesn't hang out with her the other crew because they're drunks. And that's an interesting point because her parents and her grandparents, to a certain extent, had substance abuse problems, and it's interesting that she's just like, okay, I know this could happen, so I'm just going to be sober, which is really, really smart.
Yeah, I mean, I clocked the thing where she's like at the bar, but she orders like a Coke instead of like alcohol. Yeah.
And although even though her friends think that it's spiked, because she's at a bar, it's she's there to socialize. She's not there to drink. And then she's questioned about her dad. And does she have depression? I like her answer. I don't do depression. I leave that to the philosophy majors. I feel like somebody else said that before. I feel like she didn't come up with this line, but I don't know where it comes from. And that she wants nothing to do with her biological father, Danny. Obviously, who wants to do anything with Danny? Danny had that gross relationship with Karen.
I could have swore like Gordo said something like that earlier in the show.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. It sounds so familiar, but it's been so long that I can't remember.
Yeah, I want to say it was like a season 2 thing, but I could be wrong.
Yes, we might have to look that up, but that definitely stands out to me. And it's also a very funny line still. Yeah. And she talks about how he died when she was a baby. Like this is all a drama episode. Like but it's good because it's introducing this character. We don't really know Avery. Last time we saw her, she was just a kid, and Danny felt bad about what happened. to Danny. Danielle felt bad what happened to Danny, so she essentially started becoming sort of an aunt to
Yeah.
Avery,
Yeah.
and she was at her birthday party. But she says her father is Tom Jarrett. We have not met Tom Jarrett, have we? I don't know. I don't remember
No, I don't think
him.
we did.
No. So we don't know who she considers her real dad, even though it's not her biological, but he's the one who raised her. But here
Yeah.
she's completely shutting out all of her emotions, and she's not actually talking about her past. She's not living up to it or being honest about how she really feels. And so this polygraph test, we don't find out in this particular scene, it doesn't go well. There are inconsistencies between what she says and what people that they talk to say. So there's cross-referencing here where she's going to have to do this again. She didn't do a good job here. And Alex is getting dressed for work. He's going to his first big boy job in his Helios uniform. Yeah. He's a little bit disappointed in himself because his grandpa would have wanted him to fly or do something a little more exciting than the desk work.
Yeah.
But Kelly says everybody has to start somewhere.
Yep.
And that's
She's giving him encouragement since he's starting basically at the bottom. He's got to work his way up like everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what he wants to. He keeps saying, he tells her, I don't want anybody to treat me special. You made sure to tell Deb I don't want any special treatment. And that's that seems to be something he's concerned with.
Yeah.
But the best part of this scene is when he pulls out the plate. I've got it on the thumbnail here. Here it is. So, yeah, that was supposed to go on the mission, the Apollo mission, to walk on the moon, but they didn't. Since they didn't make it, they kept it. Ed kept it anyway.
Yeah, Apollo, it was Deke who gave him the plaque, and then I guess Ed Baldwin has kept it for all these years, and now, I think he took it to. I don't know if it was on the moon. I think it was on the moon with him, and then they took it to Mars, and I guess now it's on its way to Titan.
Yes, now it's on its way to Titan. Very, very good. I really like this plaque that it's making the rounds, and it's still around. It's like one of the characters a bit. It's important. And Alex also suggests that she name a mountain or a methane lake or something after Grandpa, which is great. It's a great idea. We just did that in real life with the Artemis crew and Integrity, naming a crater after the deceased wife of the commander of the crew.
Yeah.
And yeah, wow. How did Ronald D. Moore I don't. Of course, he didn't know that was going to happen, but that's a thing that they do.
It's an interesting or they call it synchronicity, but yeah, I'm kind of wondering. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of one of those like happy accidents, I suppose. But what I'm thinking is kind of like the way we ended last season with the reveal that essentially they have on Goldilocks, Kuznetsov station. We might have like a flash forward at the end of the season where it's like, Baldwin crater or something like that, leading us to whatever on Titan in season 6. That would be interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Or probably Baldwin Lake, probably.
Low Spec Linux Gaming is here on the Rumble side. Hello. And also we had a robot over there trying to lead us in other directions. So we got rid of that. But we've got Tim and Jeff over there. That's great. And oh no, hold on. Can I step away for just a second?
Okay.
If you can.
Take your time.
I'll be back in just a minute.
Yeah, I mean, for those listening right now, I mean, it's like this has been a very I like the way the direction of the season is going, and I'm really energized about what the possibilities could be for season 6. I'm obviously a little bit sad that we might not actually get to see anything past that, but it would be kind of cool if they, after the season or the series is over, that they decide to still expand what's becoming really quickly a franchise of these sort of near future space stuff. So, well, Gavin, it's only my show for possibly minutes. I have my own show on YouTube that I've put on ice thanks to my obligations to the MFA program at San Diego State, but I'm hoping to relaunch that very soon. I periodically update it with community posts, and hopefully I'm able to kind of find a rhythm that actually works, because the problem is between teaching and being a student and doing all these other things, it's there's a lot of bandwidth problems that I still haven't kind of worked out, but it would be nice if I was able to hire some kind of an editor or get something like that done so that I can get some video essays out. I think that'd be cool. At some point here, I do plan to do some kind of a Project Hail Mary sort of deep dive video essay. And then, I mean, this whole past month's been a pretty good month for science fiction and everything. So, and, science in general, because we have, Artemis 2, Project Hail Mary, and The Return for All Mankind. So, I mean, I probably should have already been doing stuff on my own channel for that. But
yeah, it's a good year. I was thinking of doing a Project Hail Mary too, but not a essay, just a live stream review like I like to do.
Mhm. Yeah.
So when it's on streaming, I'm going to get into that.
Yeah, they say that I was reading a report that said that they're going to extend the theatrical release. So in their words,
Makes
it was
sense.
like, we're not going to be streaming it or putting it on streaming for the foreseeable future. So I guess that means at least maybe a couple more months.
That's okay. I don't mind waiting.
I mean, it would be
Canadian
kind of
Spider-Man.
interesting. Oop.
I'm glad that it's successful. I'm glad they're leaving it in theaters and that more people get to see it on the big
Yeah.
screen, because that's the best way to watch that movie.
Yep, no, I agree. I'm
Hello,
hoping
Spider?
that maybe in a couple of months, this For All Mankind will be over,
Oh.
and then
And the
they'll
end of the
release it on
credits
it.
when there. Yes, Gavin, yes. Oh, I
Well,
hope so. I hope
there's,
so.
There's
I'm
a
not
lot of
counting my
rumors flying
chickens.
around. I can't really say if it's like, if that's the truth or not. But I mean, there is no Star Trek in active
hope so.
production. That's 100% true.
Yeah, it's the first time that's been the case in over a decade. So
Yeah.
that's cool. I mean, I love Star Trek, but not happy with what it's been done. But I am happy with this. I'm very happy with Ronald D. Moore, especially this episode. There's just so many good things. And Alex goes to the Helios office, so he's gonna get his assignment from Joshi. Miss Joshi. And so let's do that. Let's do that with the slides, see what happens. So we're missing slides already. They're going. Here they are.
No.
Strange. Okay, there it is. He's at work. There's Josie. And there you go. That's where he is. That's where he's going to work, at Helios. And Alex says, whatever I can do to help the team, I will. I just want to be treated like everyone else. And she says, why would anyone give you any special treatment? and so yes, it makes sense that he has this insecurity that this is going to happen to him, because, of course, Ed was such a famous astronaut, and his grandma was at one point, Karen was the CEO of Helios at one point, and then Kelly and Aleida, they both got stock in the company, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
and then there's every reason for him to fear being seen as just there
baby.
because of exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I
Mhm.
mean, right now he's a third generation, you know, space person. But I mean, as I told, when we had our show at the end of not last year, but the year before, uh, I was mentioning that essentially the Baldwin family are the first family of space, and so uh, not that everything revolves around them, but they're definitely involved in like leading the charge with space exploration at this point in the show.
Yeah, now there's only 2 of them left.
Yeah.
Project Hail Mary proves that Netflix model of limited run cinema was wrong. Well, of course, streaming services are going to say
I mean, for
that
a long
their
time,
movies.
Netflix. Yeah, I mean, Netflix's whole thing was that they wanted to get rid of theatrical altogether, and
Yeah, of course
yeah,
they would.
it's not going to happen.
And nope, it's not. Thank heavens.
I mean, I'm surprised that the one of the reports I was reading said that Gen Z is fueling the return of movie theaters. So,
Oh, that's great news.
I mean, a lot of them are, at least from what I've been seeing from teaching them and then conversing with them one on one, they seem to be very like they're not really wanting to engage with social media anymore. They want to go back to like analog stuff from like the 90s and the 2000s. Like some of them are buying VHS tapes and DVDs in droves, and I find that quite fascinating.
Yeah, DVDs make sense, but oh my gosh, guys, you don't have to buy cassette tapes and VHS tapes. Those were never good media sources. But I think that's really great that they're going to physical media.
Well, I think there's a nostalgia factor to the VHS tapes, but I mean,
Yeah,
even
that's fair
DVDs have
enough.
a problem with like, I think after 25, 30 years that they start breaking down. So,
Yeah, yes, but it's not as bad as VHS. VHS, you just rewind it too many times and it starts skipping. Matt G. Hello, Matt G. And Sinister. Hello, Sinister. Great to see you guys. We're here talking about For All Mankind. Gavin says, my son listens to music on tape and vinyl. I have Spotify.
mm,
Oh, that's great. He uses vinyl. Really cool.
yeah, vinyl was coming back a few years before this like new movement toward like visual media now. Because I mean, before it was like audio media, people wanted like nostalgia for some of the older formats, and now they're shifting to visual arts now. But
Speaking of
it's kind of
visual, look
fascinating
at
to
the
see.
Phoenix. We haven't seen
Oh
it
yeah,
in a while.
it's
Great to
true.
see. Aleida's here and she's headed to Mars.
Yep, they're
And
picking up a
yeah,
month after
finally.
her trip from Earth.
It's just long overdue that Aleida finally gets to Mars.
Hmm.
And she sees it. She's looming large. And she's just been a big part of everything that's happened so far. And now she finally gets to witness what
Yeah,
she's done, which is, yeah. And the feeling is not lost on her.
yeah. I mean, when she
And
went to the moon, I think what was it, the '90s?
mhm.
It was like, it was like, it's just something we do
Yeah,
now,
everybody
the
goes
regular
to the
thing.
moon. Who
Yeah,
cares?
everybody goes. Yeah, there's no specialness to it, but here, she's going to Mars as somebody who's very well known in the company.
Mhm.
So, and she has people there that she knows, so it's a little different.
Yes. Oh yes, I know, Sinister. Your son likes vinyl, laserdisc. He likes every physical media. I don't think there's a physical media he doesn't like. I do.
Yeah, I've
I
never
do know.
watched anything on Laserdisc. I've seen them, but I've never watched it.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither. Although,
I thought they were vinyl, like packages when I first saw them at my grandma's house, but no,
mhm.
they're not. They're just a really big seat, like a DVD, essentially.
Yeah. So back at the episode, they're mentioning so it's Aleida and Kelly, and they're talking, and they mention usually you stay on the Phoenix for a little while to get acclimated to Mars gravity, but
Right.
they don't have time for that because she's got to help with the Titan mission.
Hmm.
But maybe the most annoying part of this episode is that Aleida is there to oversee the Titan mission, but we don't get to see that. Like last time we saw the Sojourner, it was in shambles. And this episode, it's ready to go and it's perfect and amazing. So I was hoping to get a little insight to the technical details and how they refit it, but I guess we didn't get to see that. Guess it's fine.
Well, I'm sure we'll see some of that as they make their journey over.
I hope so. That would be nice. And they decide that it's time to go get a drink. Oh man. Yeah, they're gonna drink together. They did that before, right before they bought Helios, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's bring that back up. Maggie is excited at the mention of laser discs. Oh, I guess they're not gonna drink right away. We're gonna look at the model. All right, so that's the part we're at. I see now. Okay, so but Alex gets called into Dev's office, and he's showing them his plans for Maru. He's got his models going, or as Ed would call him, his Lego sets. Gavin says refits are the best ships, always. Yes, and so we've got a refit here in this episode with the Sojourner, which we will see a little bit later.
And I think I was wrong
There's
about
going
what
to be
they
a
were going to call
high-speed
it.
train and a baseball field and a mini beach here that is powered by a refuse processing facility. And everything just looks great. And Alex says it's perfect, but then he says it's too perfect. And Dev is talking about how Mars is going to be self-sustaining. They won't need supplies from Earth. This is obviously going to be vital to the steps towards Martian independence. For sure. But Alex says it's too perfect. It doesn't leave room for people to make it their own, to make it home. It's too perfect. It's just you can't. Nobody can
calculated.
personalize it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he wants to make it modular so people can feel free, like they have control over their lives. And that's part of that that does fit in line with Dev's goal of making people feel like they're in charge of their own destiny. But he says Dev says it's dangerous to give people too many options. It confuses them. But Alex says this isn't a ship or a computer, it's home. And so he talks about when he was little, the pods were too small, and so his mom would knock out the cabinet to have room for their toys and books and everything. And that's kind of the layout of what he wants to do with the modular systems of the homes that people are going to live in here, this big circular city, ring city.
I mean, it's interesting that it's shaped sort of like a infinity symbol. So, I mean, that's probably the best way they could probably portray some kind of a limited terraforming on Mars, because I mean, the terraform the whole planet's going to take like 1,000 years. So this like
and
limited, this little limited environment, which I guess they could expand to other regions if it works. Is a good idea.
It is something that can be built upon.
Yeah,
and this already can hold 1 million people or so or more. So, and they don't even have that many people on Mars yet. There it is. There's a little furnace area that powers the ocean waves. But Dev says that's a great idea, but that's going to cost more money. If you can get the cost down, you can do it. And so now Alex is given the task of deciding how to make the homes more modular, and that's his job. And this leads him, that this is a good catalyst for the rest of the episode, leading him to the files that tell us what's in the box.
Yeah. I mean, obviously I wasn't anticipating the fact that Alex would essentially become like a mix of, because he's essentially being tasked to do like, I don't know what you would call it, like an extraterrestrial architecture. But he
Mhm.
also has this Edward Snowden sort of like reveal sort of thing later,
Hmm.
where he's revealing
Well, he's
classified
just really
information
good.
that's going to upend everything.
Yeah, he's really good at hacking computer systems. And as we know, for all mankind, computer systems are not as sophisticated as ours. And so that also makes it easier. And so he's got a new task. No longer is he just doing the data entry that Joshi tells him to do. Now he gets to,
Hmm.
well, as Dev says, here, let's stop this for a second. As Dev says, quotes here, I want you to feel like you can make a real contribution here. Maru will be your home too one day. And so that's why he's bringing Alex into the decision making. But although this is precisely the special treatment that Alex asked not to have, but it's being uh, set upon him anyway. Even though he did have a good idea.
Well, I mean, even beyond that, I mean, I think Alex has to realize that one of the many reasons why Dev takes an interest in him, not only is he related to the Baldwins, but also he is still, like, at least at this point, as far as I'm aware, the only human to have been born, essentially off world.
He's the only true Martian.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough, right? And he can't go anywhere because of his health.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much automatic special treatment. So, I mean, you can't really get around it.
Yep. Oh, good. Spidey's still here. Thanks for being here, everyone. Please consider hitting the like button. Yes, that's a good idea. And so if we go back to the slides, we've got that old, it used to be called the Outpost a long time ago. This is the same bar, right? It's been so long.
No, this is not that,
Oh,
because I think the Outpost was in Houston. This is just another one that's apparently here in San Diego, where I'm at right now, which is very interesting.
okay. It's called Scarlet Lady Saloon. Is that a real place then?
Not as far as I'm aware.
Okay. San Diego, California. And nonetheless, it is a place where it seems a lot of military go to have a drink. Which, of course, she doesn't really do at all. She just goes here for the social element.
Mm-hmm.
I considered it and hit the like button. Thank
Hmm.
you, Gavin. Thank you. Oh, hey! Oh, not also breaking news. Canadian Spider-Man is with Rod Thunderheart now and loving the big skies here. Hope you're warm. It's shorts weather here. Nice. That's
Hmm.
great. I'm glad to hear spring has come for Canada. Good news. Anyway, she's at the bar ordering her Coke. And yeah, she previously cited the drunkenness of her friends as the reason why she doesn't connect with them, her colleagues in the first polygraph. And they admit as much. She's telling her she must be an alkie, even though they're the ones drinking and she's not.
Yeah.
And it is interesting. So, but I do hope that Avery avoids the psychological problems Gordo had and Danny had, even to an extent, even Tracy kind of. She wasn't very stable either. So,
Yeah.
so there's going to
I mean,
be.
we'll get to that
She's got a lot stacked
later,
against
but
her.
yeah.
And, well, of course, Danny is the worst of them all. Because,
Oh, yeah. Well,
what he
for
did with
many
Karen.
reasons.
Yuck. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, we don't need to go over all the things Danny did, but I think you remember.
I mean, we still don't even know if
he had a major drug addiction.
yeah. I mean, we still don't even know if after he died on Mars, that because one of the rumors in the fandom was that they basically subsisted off him because they were running out of food, but did body part.
Oh,
But that still hasn't been confirmed or denied. So
true.
it's very interesting.
This is true.
I don't know. I don't think it probably happened, but it's interesting to note that there's no confirmation or denial on it. So
It's still a rumor. Yeah, it's
Still a rumor.
still something that is potentially true. What did they eat? Did did uh did Danny have enough stores of food so that they didn't have to eat him? Goodness, what a question.
yep.
But anyway, her friends are they were already selected. One of them was already selected for OPEF, which is Off-Planet Expeditionary Force. So I guess like Space Marines.
Expeditionary Force. Yeah. Yeah. I was trying to figure it out, and I'm like, huh, that must be an extension of like season 2 with the Moon Marines, and it kind of
Yeah.
just has expanded now to include maybe more than just the moon. So
Right. Right.
very
The
interesting.
whole solar system now. And she's telling them that she has to take another polygraph. And they're saying, "Oh, then it must not be very good." And they start making fun of her.
hmm
And so she slaps one of them, and then one of them calls her a psycho for what she's just done. And then she shoves that guy into a pool table and yells at him. So yeah, I don't know. Who's she taking after? Danny, Gordo, or Tracy? Because they all kind of had their moments of hot temperness. So
Yeah,
it's difficult to pinpoint it down.
but this time it's Coke infused.
Caffeine. No, but
Yeah.
it's all her at least. At least we're actually looking at her. Anyway, that's the way she handles things. Just hope that she avoids the space madness.
Hmm.
She looks, yeah, I don't know. So they really develop her character really fast. I'm pretty impressed. So then in the next scene, we're hanging out with Aleida and Kelly, and they're drinking some of Baldwin's rye
Mhm.
and talking about the upcoming mission to Titan. Finally, we're going to Titan. I want to find life. Let's find some life. But, all we get is the launch in this episode. Finally, something. And Aleida, she promises she did everything to stop cutting Kelly's research. Kelly still thinks there is life on Mars, but that, we're going to find it on Titan first. And so they
Yeah,
drink to
she's
that.
kind of. I think she's sort of like come to the realization that it won't be her who finds life on Mars, and so she thinks that finding it on Titan will be the thing that actually cements her legacy as a space explorer.
Yes, that makes sense. And so they talk about their team, they talk about their family. And Kelly thinks that the crew hates her because she's an outsider and it's Walt's crew. And Aleida says, "Well, it's not the worst thing for people at work to not love you. They bother you less." That's a good point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But Kelly says she wants to be a good team player, which is a good response to that. Very, very Star Trek response.
Mm-hmm.
And Kelly talks about how much the mission meant to Ed, and who pushed her to do this when she wasn't sure. And then, they talk about their kids. Leda has a son who's in a band.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if we ever actually get to hear that music, because Leda says you don't want to hear the music.
I mean, I think we may have seen, the son earlier, but we haven't seen the son this season yet.
Tim is back. Welcome back, Tim. And Low Spec Linux Gaming says vinyl is great, but VHS and cassette, no, it was crap in perfect condition. Yeah, agreed. Agreed. Like I understand the nostalgia factor, but no, it's bad. You have to understand it's bad media.
I mean,
My
I prefer it in some ways because it's got a little character to it, but
well, as long as it lasts.
I mean, I think
Low
that the
spec,
best digital format would probably be like some kind of a memory card ultimately.
yeah. Well, yeah, and that is the least romantic of all of them.
Yep.
Low Spec says, "My Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy stream. I will be playing vinyl." Oh, nice. Okay, that's cool.
I
And then
remember
he says
them saying
lyrics.
something about a record that they had for that,
Hmm,
like one from the 80s.
yep. Well, anyway, um, Aleida's got a hangover, so let's see that. There
Oh,
she
yeah.
is. They they said one last shot before bed, but you know that was not their last shot. You can tell by
No.
how Aleida's acting this morning that they finished off that bottle. There is no doubt.
Oh, yeah.
They
As good
finished
friends
it for
do.
sure. Yeah. And Alex brings her coffee and aspirin, and they leave off. She goes along with him to Helios because she's got to talk to Dev, but she needs 10 minutes. I did that this morning. I needed a nap.
Yeah, I mean, I just came back from the Los Angeles Times Festival of Books and came back last night, and so I'm a little bit. It's a long trip, but I mean, it's not like the longest trip ever. But yeah, I think I needed a couple hours more of sleep, but I fell asleep late again.
Yeah,
It happens.
it does happen. So Avery's riding her motorcycle, making electric motorcycles look cool.
Hmm.
But what's not cool is that she is instantly rude to Danny.
Yeah, she comes
Doing
in hot.
that is not the best way to endear yourself to me. But luckily for Avery, Danny loves her and doesn't hold it against her at all.
Yeah, I think Danielle held that or did her best to de-escalate the situation because she did come in pretty hot with it.
Yeah, yeah. She says, yeah, she did. She plays it off with humor.
Mm-hmm.
Drink some coffee, Jill. That will wake you up. I do have coffee right here. Da 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 da. That's in
Yeah,
here.
that's the one thing I can't do is coffee. Some people think it's weird that I'm
I would be
somehow
dead.
able to maintain any energy at all during the day, and I'm like, I don't.
I don't. Yeah, I need my coffee. I don't know. But anyway, it's great to see Danny. We don't get any other of the original characters in this episode, so good to see her. And she looks really great. But I guess it makes sense because she's not stressed out. You know, she's not doing all the space stuff. So
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
able
she's had
to.
her adventures. I don't think we're gonna have a. I don't think we're gonna have a Star Trek Picard moment where she's like has to get thrown into the situation as an older person. I think that's her space days are probably over.
Yeah. But if they did, it would be better than that. But anyway, Danny says she was honest to the people who questioned her because she Avery is wondering what Danny said to the people, the OPEF people.
Mhm.
But she told him about Danielle told them about Danny's psychological problems, which were already on the record, says Avery. But Danny put it into context that it was a burden that Avery had to deal with. And Avery just doesn't want to screw it up. She gets a second chance, and Danny says that's good. So this time, just be honest and make sure you're not doing this just to live up to the legacy of your grandparents or your dad. or legacy, or in this case, infamy.
Mhm.
And the main thing she says is that Danny lied to everyone and himself, and that's eventually what killed him, because the truth was he didn't really want to be doing what he was doing. He wanted to do something else with his life, but he was doing this to prove himself to others. And Avery denies that this is why she's doing it, and so this is what she needs to tell the officers who interview her at the next polygraph test. So yeah, Danny's just here to give advice to Avery. And let's bring the slides back now, because now we can look at Danny's house a little bit. And oh, Wendy, Trauma Warrior is here. Great. Oh, they got a hug. You're gonna need that fire in your belly for what's to come. And okay, yeah, they say I love you. They talk about the photo of Ed on the table. Yeah, of course, Danny still loves Ed. I wasn't questioning that. They had their issues on Mars,
Yeah, I
but
mean,
that's fine.
yeah, I mean, Danny was saying before, I think it was in that season where he was pretty much stating that he was living Shane's life, and in the hopes that it would make it better for what happened.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Tim. Tim says hello to Wendy. Yeah, great to see you today. Danny was a nutcase. Yes, Tim. Yes, you have been paying attention. Yes, I do have a Harvey coffee mug. Yes, it says people are weird. I happen to agree with Harvey. And then we get this news broadcast where they're talking about the missions to Titan and the competition of Kurgan and Helios, and how they're going up against each other. And also, there are two broadcasts. The second one talks about the economic collapse of the Soviet Union that's incoming. So that's interesting. They're finally doing that. That is it ended in the early 90s in our reality, and taking a bit longer in this case, obviously.
I mean, it's kind of, I mean, I notice patterns sometimes. So I'm seeing like season 1, it was like the aftermath of the first space race for, between the US and the Soviet Union for the moon. And then season 3, it was the race to Mars between the 3 different powers. And then, here in season 5, we have this third space race to Titan. And so
I do like
every
this,
odd numbered season, we end up doing a space race.
Yes, and here's a picture of the space race. They should be, according to this, arriving on Titan at pretty much the same time. So it is definitely going to be a race to find life. Who is going to find it first? We're going to find out as we head on this mission. Cosmos 1 is the name of the other ship that's going along.
Right.
And they don't intercept until right about here.
Yeah, I think
as they head to
I was
Saturn.
incorrect with what my prediction was for this mission. I thought from some of the behind-the-scenes photography of some of the patches for this particular mission, the Helios mission, that it was Sojourner 7. It appears that this is not the case. It appears that it's called Sojourner Titan, but it's rendered as Sojourner T on some of the mission-specific data.
Let me see. So now we cut to the governor, and he gets a video call from his boss, I guess the president, saying, "You gotta give us more iridium. It's everything's slowed down. You gotta you're there to make things faster." And so that continues that. Oh, there's one more thing in this scene regarding this lady. Does she have a name? I'm having trouble with names this season. Anyway.
I believe she does, but it's escaping me at the moment.
Yeah.
Usually takes a couple episodes before it actually gets locked in.
Yeah, that's the problem. We're still real early in the season, and we haven't really got to know these characters too much, except that she is always helping. She's always helping the governor with ideas, and in this case, this is another one of those instances where she gives him the idea to celebrate the launching of the Titan as a way to bring the people of Happy Valley together. And it's a good idea.
Yeah.
So. And so then we cut to Aleida and Alex. And so Alex is going to go downstairs. Aleida's going to meet with Dev. And first she looks at the view of everything. She's admiring it all. But also she's kind of upset at Dev. So she lays into him right at first. But first, before that though, he hugs her because he's just like happy she's there.
Mhm.
She doesn't let herself get it's kind of funny. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah. But Aleida is upset that Dev called for the development of the Maru city without consulting her. She says, this company has become dysfunctional. We can't keep working at cross purposes. I'm trying to keep Helios solvent. Meanwhile, you're spending hand over fist on this effing city on Mars, which you announced without even giving me a heads up. So Dev apologizes for not being communicative, but he has trouble trusting people. He's been stabbed in the back, and Aleida tells him, the difference with me is that I'll stab you in the front, which I like that. And he's comforted by that in a way. And then they get down to actual business. Are we gonna? I like that he says, "Are we going to sit around and talk about our feelings all day?" That's how I feel about this series sometimes. How much are we going to sit around and talk about our feelings? So they actually do get to the science and the upgrades to the Sojourner one. And Aleida needs more accurate atmospheric scale height figures. So it needs to be in real time, or else they're going to bounce off of the moon and head straight into Saturn, or they're burn up in the atmosphere. So either way, they need the most accurate numbers they can get. And Dev says he can do that. He just needs some time. But this is the most information we get on this, so I hope we learn more about it in the next episode. It's they give you just a little bit of the fun stuff, and so we've got to wait. Got to wait for the rest of it. And so Alex is working on his new assignment to make the city more modular. And so he's looking at server 36, and he sees a folder called automation, which confuses him. So, but he tries to look in it, but it's denied. He can't get into it. Oh, and we do get a little character development with this guy. Oh, what's his name? Georgie? He likes to give off references, movie references and stuff.
Yeah, all of his references are from the 80s.
Yes, because it takes a while for things to come to the Soviet Union. Oh, Brogu's here. Hello, Brogu. Great to see you. And Jill's not weird. She's Abby normal. Thanks, Tim. But no, I'm okay with being weird. I am weird. It's good. But anyway.
Yeah, weird's nothing to be ashamed of.
Of course not.
It's weird to not be weird.
Exactly. I can't be normal. That's boring. But he needs level 3 security clearance to get through. He doesn't have that. And so he asks Joshi if he can use her computer, because it took her 6 months to get clearance to that folder. Can I just use your computer? She says, nice try. And Oh yeah, coffee. We got some coffee on the Rumble side. Thank you. Needed that. I'll have some of that. Thank you very much. Get to see file systems. Yay! Wonderful. And you get to see how they're related to each other. It's a neat little structure. And so he talks to Lily about it, and she says, "Hey, you're actually capable with computers. Why don't you just break into it?"
Hmm.
And he's reminded of that the time when they were in school, and he hacked the vending machines, and they had free soda for junior year. And Alex says he almost got suspended for that. So what stopped him earlier was, the consequences that could happen if he does this. But that little bit of Ed Baldwin that was instilled in him
Mhm.
is coming out, and he listens to her. But before we get to see what he does with that, we head back to Avery, and she's looking at a picture of her and her mom when she was a baby. So let's find that. And then looking at one with her dad too.
Yeah.
One that she's folded because she very often just wants to see herself. She doesn't want to see her dad, but it's also telling that she didn't rip it. A lot of people will just rip it in half and not want to see the other person, but he's still there. She just folded it.
Yeah.
And so we finally get the truth of how she feels about her childhood, how she always hoped that her dad would come home and that he wasn't really dead, and he'd show up in his spaceship and just be there for her. But of course that didn't happen. And she talks about being bullied, and but that she's not there to prove them wrong or anything. She was there to serve her country. And so that's what gets her in. So she was finally she's crying this whole time because she's being forced to relive the truth of how she feels there. But that gets her in. She's now going to Mars, or the moon, excuse me. She's only going to the moon for some reason, not to
Well,
Mars.
that's what we assume at the moment.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm told. I guess it could be changed. Hello to Sigvoldison. Hey, it's so good to see you today. Hope you're well.
I mean, she might end up on the moon for a little bit, and then
There's
on the
Amy.
moon they find out that they have to go and transfer to Mars. But
Also, isn't it kind of crazy that they hired her? Like, she's a good actress, and she kind of looks like she kind of looks like Gordo and Tracy. Like, she kind of looks like
Mhm.
her
That's good casting.
parents. That's some pretty great casting. And so we've got Aleida. She's in her office, and she gets interrupted by her assistant. And I tried to look for her name. It just says Aleida's assistant. Oh, and she got a picture of her family there. But there she is. She's Aleida's assistant. And she just barges in and says, "I got the density maps and the atmospheric thermal profiles and the monthly operations report." And Aleida says, "You've got to knock first." And she says, the assistant, "We actually have an open door policy here. Dev doesn't really believe in closed doors." And Aleida says, "Well, I do."
Hmm.
So there you go. She's setting her boundaries.
Yeah.
But she also asks about the Kurgan delegation because she didn't realize they're going to be there soon. And she doesn't want to be caught uninformed with what's going on. So she asks for all the information about it. And so that's that scene. That's how we go there. Knocking first would be nice. Yeah, I would like knocking too. But that reminds me of IBM where everybody was in cubicles, no matter who you were. And so anyway, Alex is here and he's he's all alone in the office trying to figure out how to get data off of the computer to see what's in that file. And he hacks into Joshy's computer and he's successful and he finds the files and he transfers them over and he finds out that the Happy Valley workers, about 98% of them, are going to be replaced with automation. So that's something that's actually happening right now. Is a lot of things are being replaced with automation that probably shouldn't, because our AI currently is not real AI. It is data mining. It is large language models. It's not exactly real artificial intelligence. So it's making a lot of mistakes.
Well, I mean, our current AI systems are pretty. I mean, in science fiction, there's like two different versions of AI. You have dumb AI, and then you have smart AI. And the smart AI are usually the ones that have, or we would also call like artificial general intelligence or artificial super intelligence. But I mean, as far as I'm aware, a lot of the stuff in that world is sort of highly speculative. And it seems like a lot of Silicon Valley has sold themselves on this idea that, we're going towards AGI and ASI. And I don't know how they can, because we don't even know how consciousness works. And yet they are working up and dreaming up these science fiction concepts that really don't have basis in like
Reality.
biology or science or reality. So I don't know how that's going to work, but yeah, they basically had this new emerging technology and decided to get rid of a ton of people, even though it's not ready for prime time. It's fascinating.
We're ready for prime time. It is awful. It's right here on YouTube itself. YouTube they fired a lot of people in favor of AI moderation, and it is a complete disaster. A lot of people are getting demonetized, including myself, for no good reason, for inauthentic content, which essentially means mass produced, like an automated AI farm channel, like they just
Yeah.
set up a automated channel that just pumps out random stuff and copies other things and
I still had
repackages
no
them.
idea that that's who you were. I'm kidding, of course. But no, I mean,
yeah.
the strange thing about it is like, I mean, outside of YouTube, there are companies that have had to rehire people because they realized that they made a big mistake.
And I'm
then,
waiting for YouTube to realize they made a big
Yeah.
mistake. They're doing this. They're not just demonetizing; they're also terminating channels. And
Yeah.
this is just a hobby for me, but for some people, this is their actual livelihood.
Yeah, and that's
And I
it's fascinating that the people at YouTube, I mean, really Google, like they're just kind of like asleep at the wheel. They're like, this will work. This won't be a problem.
no,
And yeah,
it is a problem. Yeah, no, I don't mind them getting rid of the automated system
yeah. I mean, I'm all for getting
channels,
rid of the slop channels, but like
but there's
independent
too much
creators like you, I
crossfire.
mean, yeah.
There's way too much. And Wendy says, our AI says use glue to make cheese. Stick to the pizza.
Well, that
Really?
one might be.
That's gross. That's funny. Your AI is saying to eat glue. That's amazing.
That must be a Microsoft Copilot.
That must be Ralph Wiggum Copilot. Oh wow. But anyway, that's why I love Ronald D. Moore. It's a real life issue that we're dealing with now. It's just that in For All Mankind universe, they actually have robots coming, cleaning your house and doing stuff like that we saw in the very first episode flyby recap. And so we'll see what the automated systems look like maybe this season. We'll see if that's a thing.
Yeah.
And anyway, Alex is transferring the documents to his flash drive when Aleida drops by, and he has to pretend he's still just doing regular data entry. And Aleida believes him and says, take a break every once in a while. But yes, that's it. We finally know what's in the box. Automated systems to replace all human labor on Mars. Almost all.
And then
98%.
humans back to Earth.
Yeah. Yeah. And then that's the idea, is to send all the humans back to Earth. And so, yeah. So this kid is good hacking computers. Good to know. Good to know what talents Alex has. Because we didn't really know much about Alex before, except he seems like a rather smart kid that likes to smoke pot. So now at least I know that he also hacks computers.
As one does.
Mm-hmm. Windows, yes. And ScrewTube exploitation ghetto. Yeah, I did have to mention it. I had to mention it because it's the topic of this episode. It's crazy how art is imitating life so well in this season of For All Mankind. I'm rather surprised. It's good work, Ron D. Moore and others who made this show.
It's also important to note that because they had those automatic robot dogs that were surveying off-world spots, and so that was one of the projects that Kelly was working on it with Aleida to figure that out. So whatever evolved out of that is what we're seeing now in the For All Mankind timeline in 2012, where they're kind of seems very ahead in terms of automation, whereas we're a little bit behind them in some ways. But I don't know if we have like an actual like true AI counterpart just yet, like whatever the ChatGPT would be for the For All Mankind universe. I don't even think they have them actually. But
well, apparently Claude is the closest, the most advanced kind, but I don't know how good it is. I don't know, but
I might have to switch to that one at some point. I do
That's what I hear.
experiments on these things
Mm-hmm.
because I'm very curious to see how
To see how it develops.
Yeah, how the platform operates. And I don't want to be that kind of person who's like
Dependent
I'm told
on
by.
it.
Well, I mean, I don't want to be told to like you shouldn't use it, and I'm like that only makes me want to use it more. So stop it.
Yeah, but at the same time, you don't want to grow dependent on it either. It's fine to investigate it, but don't let it run your life.
No, I mean anything really is. The important key is moderation. Don't try to overdo anything, really.
Mm-hmm. And also recognize the level of quality of information you're getting from AI is the worst you could probably get. It is the best way to get information is from a book. The next best is for gathering a bunch of internet sources together and correlating which ones give you the best information. And then,
if I could, I would say that I think the best sources of information tend to be university libraries. I mean, people talk smack about colleges all the time, but I mean, as a repository of information, that's always been, it has peer-reviewed information, it has everything. University libraries
that's why
always
I
be good.
Books are the best. Books are.
Well, I mean,
now
it's all digitized, so I mean, it doesn't even have to be a physical book. It could just be like a,
internet
PDF
archive.
you could download from there. I mean, that too, yeah.
Yeah, because not all of us have that. I mean, I don't know as an alumni whether or not I get to go get whatever book I want from the university, but I've never tried to do that. But anyway, it's definitely books are the best. And then below internet research is Wikipedia, and below Wikipedia is AI.
I will always speak for Wikipedia. It's actually pretty good, but
it can be okay if there are the sources are cited within the article. It's a great starting point for research, but if that's your end point, it's not going to be.
Well, I mean,
good.
nobody should necessarily cite Wikipedia directly, but
Exactly.
the external links should be the thing that help actually get you to the actual information.
And the problem with AI is that it scrapes the internet and it just barfs it back out, and sometimes it makes stuff up.
Yeah, and that's the important thing about, like, I mean, they banned the use of generative AI on Wikipedia. There's even an entire article on Wikipedia that says, "Look out for the
Mhm.
signs of AI writing," and
Yes.
I use that as like a model for my students to kind of keep in mind when they're out there. Like if
Well,
they're
you
ever
can pretty
accused
much
of it,
tell.
there's these things. I
You
mean,
can
it's
tell
getting
when
harder and
somebody's
harder to
written.
tell in
Well,
the academic
sometimes it's
space. It's
easy
really
to
weird.
tell.
I mean, I'd say about a year or two ago was pretty easy, but now it's getting very difficult.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I can tell when I put up a video whether it's AI or not, just listening to the voice. That's
I mean,
still easy to tell.
that's pretty obvious, but the writing stuff's getting very weird.
Well, anyway, yeah. So, yeah, that must be tough for a teacher to do that. But we've
Yeah.
got Lily and we've got Alex, and they're talking about the automation that's going to happen, that it's not just dealing with the space elevator. They're going to automate everything. Asteroid mining, iridium refinery, mental mills, the hopper, and Phoenix. And Lily says we've got to tell everybody about this. And it says Alex talks about how everybody's going to be sent back to Earth, but Alex doesn't want to. He wants more time. He wants to talk to Deb, but Lily says Deb is in on this. But I'm kind of with Alex on this one, even though Deb is the major leader in the company. I find it unbelievable that he actually knows about this plan because, I,
You
I
think he would
mean,
know about it?
it makes sense for him to know about it, but then at the same time, is he distracted building his city to
I mean, I kind
notice
of
what's
think
going on?
I don't know. I mean, because I feel like how much energy and money he's put into like making Mars a thing for
Mhm.
actual people. I don't know if it would make sense for him to just like. I feel like it is probably the case where like you're saying that he's so focused on the one thing that he's kind of like put his blinders on to everything else. And
That's one
Aleda's kind of been the
possibility.
person. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the most likely scenario since unless he has like some kind of an ulterior motive, which over the last couple seasons it kind of seems like we thought that he had an ulterior motive, but it always seems to like come back to like, no, he really is somebody who wants to do something in space. So
Mhm.
whatever that comes up and whatever that manifests as, it always kind of
Oh,
changes.
yeah,
But
he's not been a perfect person. He has
no,
been selfish before, but we'll see exactly what happens. I know he wants Mars to be self-sufficient, to not have to depend on Earth anymore for resources. And I think part of that is keeping manpower. I think that he believes in people and the power of people to make things happen. And I don't think he would be for automation. So, um, I definitely
I
don't
think
think he wants to send everybody to Earth and bring in billionaires to live in his city. Like, that's, like, a possibility too, but I think that one is not
you know,
true. That can't be it.
I mean, the only other thing I can think of is that like machines and all that would take care of all the hard labor, and then humans would just live on Mars without having to do anything. So he has like
Yeah,
this Star Trek like utopia within the city.
so he'd keep all the laborers, but say, "You guys all get early retirement. Hang out and make yourself better and do stuff, other stuff
Or have some kind
with your
of
life."
basic income that comes from whatever
Yeah.
they keep mining from the Goldilocks asteroid.
Hmm. Okay. But yeah, like Alex says, he believes in Mars more than anybody.
Mhm.
So I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. And then Avery tells her friends that she made it, and everybody cheers for her. They're sorry. They also apologize for being assholes earlier, and so she
Mhm.
forgives them, and everybody's happy. And she looks up at the moon expectantly because that is her destination as we know it.
Mhm.
And then Leon, the governor, talks about the crew of the Sojourner Titan. You're right. It's Sojourner Titan, not Sojourner 1. But anyway.
I mean, I thought it was Sojourner 7 from one of
Mhm.
the little patches we thought we saw, but nope.
Yeah. So of course Alex is the only one that knows that this lovely speech that the governor is giving is just platitudes, a way to make everyone happy. And even though it's totally dishonest, I really kind of like the speech. It's about about three adventures. It's kind of hard not to, because he's also kind of giving the impression of what the trip's going to be about, of finding life, and learning about who's on the mission. So we've got flight engineer Stuart Fraser, geologist Elena Beaufort, flight engineer and propulsion specialist Oleg Vysinsk. Oh, these darn Russian names. Mission pilot Kelly Baldwin and Commander Walt Griebel. And so it's it's an inspiring speech. It's really nice. And Canadian Spider-Man is saying good morning. Hey. So I can't believe the glue in the pizza. I'm pretty sure Wendy is telling the truth.
I mean, there's some bad AI things out there, but for the most
Oh
part,
yeah. I've seen I've seen some electrical advice. Somebody posted electrical advice that AI gave that would have killed somebody. So yes. Be
yeah,
very
I mean, it
careful with
depends. I
AI.
mean, I feel like it does take a lot of judgment to, discern whether or not the information is
Obviously.
bad or not. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people who don't have that. So,
Obviously. But gosh, isn't it so much better to, I mean, look up a video of somebody who's done it safely already, or like we said earlier, books are the best. Oops.
Young man, books, thousands of them.
Uh-oh. Sorry, I didn't mean to drop you out of there. I just wanted to play a
it
video.
happens.
Sometimes.
I'm always willing to take a back seat to books. But,
Me too.
yeah, I mean, in general, I think one of the biggest problems that I was reading is that uh, apparently the people who are reading right now in the United States are predominantly like women, and then men aren't reading practically at all.
Yeah.
And
And a lot of what the women are reading are kind of trash. It's true.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with reading trash, but it can't be
Yeah.
the only thing you're reading. But
Yes.
it's very fascinating how I guess the conception of what men are today is like, oh, we're just focused on the gym and making money, and it's like there has to be more to your life than just those two things.
Mm-hmm. For sure, definitely. There is more to life. And hopefully reading does go up in the coming years. I know what happens is that a reading gets transposed. Instead of reading books, we're reading social media, and that's the problem too. So we're reading Twitter or articles and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I finished Project Hail Mary back in February, and I'm working my way through Spaceman of Bohemia, which is kind of like
Oh,
Project Hail
nice.
Mary,
Cool.
but a little different.
So Kelly and Alex say they're going to have spaghetti night. We don't see their spaghetti night, but it's nice to know that they add one.
Mm-hmm.
And Sojourner Titan is about to launch, and now it is July 19th, 2012, and Aleida goes into the control room, and she gets the Kurgan delegation information, and she looks at a photograph, and who does she see? She sees Arena.
Mm-hmm.
That was Margot's boss when Margot was in Russia.
Yeah.
And so
I think I, like everyone else, thought that they took her out, but apparently not.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like the way they closed the door on her, because she was the one blamed for everything going wrong, and so you definitely got the feeling that the KGB were going to take her out. But here she is. She's alive, so that's interesting. Something to find out more about later. And so Sojourner Titan lifts off, and it is a successful launch. Oh yeah, they zoom in on that picture, but you get to see the control room here. It looks good. The ship looks good. Everything looks great. There's Sojourner Titan, and it's gonna launch with the crew here, powering up the systems. Injectors now at operating pressure. Ascent engines show green, main stage engines at standby. So, and then it, of course, lifts off and it's headed to Titan. And so the race to find life on another world outside of the extraterrestrial life begins. And we look back at the governor and they're celebrating all the good work they did, celebrating the launch of the Titan. And so they think they have calmed everything down. And now Happy Valley is happy once again. But however, she is the first one to discover that about the leaked documents that Alex leaked, saying that everybody's going to be replaced by robots.
Yep.
And everybody gets this information all at once. It spreads, and Alex and Lily are very, very proud of themselves at what they have done. And we do not see the consequences of this action in this episode. This is the end of the episode.
Yeah.
And there you go. We reviewed episode 4. I'm
Yep,
very happy.
We're
Very
halfway
happy with
through
this
next
one.
week or this week.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm kind of thinking that I didn't think about it until that moment when he, transferred the files over. I was thinking to myself, so there's kind of like been this constant thread through the show where in season 1 it was, Margot having to deal with, working with somebody like Werner von Braun and, the legacy that came with that.
Right.
And then, she ends up becoming the mentor of Aleida, and then she ends up having something that's controversial that,
It
helped
her about
her career.
Yeah.
And then now Aleida is in that position, and now Alex is sort of like a surrogate nephew, and so maybe that's where that's going to come in.
Mhm. Yeah, where people do seem to be forming family relations when they're not really family, which is great. It's a good thing. It's the human element is very much alive in the For All Mankind episodes. And so that's the
Mhm.
last one. I know my credits are done when I see Michael Koda and Denise Ikuda, because that's the last slide I take.
Mhm.
And now I can do that. Because I am always very happy that they're working on this. That's the Star Trek element within the show.
Yeah, I've never met them in person. I've seen them twice at Star Trek Las Vegas, and
Oh,
every
nice.
time I do, they're like walking past me, and I'm like,
Mhm.
one of these days I actually have to reach out.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you can wave, and that would be okay. And Canadian Spider-Man says, "Thanks, Jill, for the stream. Rod and I will do a stream after yours if you want to join. You're always welcome." Oh, thank you. Oh, there was one thing. Did you read the Ask Me Anything for Ed Baldwin? I didn't look into that. I didn't have time. I got tired this morning and took a nap instead.
I looked at a lot of the different comments, and a lot of the comments were,
Yeah.
asking about different things about, the makeup. A lot of people, I guess, were asking about the Parmesan thing, and a lot of people were asking about
Oh.
his thoughts on, where, this show is going to be and what's going to mean to him over the years to come. And it seems like, the show had had a big effect on him, and so it was very heartening to see. But
That's good.
yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting him to, like shit on the show or anything. 'Cause it seems like I mean, you're not going to put yourself through, those hours of makeup if like something didn't have some kind of a meaningful effect on you. But
Mm.
I was pleased to see all that.
Yeah. Do you remember any of his responses? Like just paraphrased?
I mean, I think he was mentioning something about how it was like little like nuanced things about, kind of commenting on Gordo's acting and how,
Oh, go ahead.
it was good to see him again at that final sequence. And so yeah, it was like little stuff like that I thought was very very heartwarming, if you will. So I recommend that somebody, if you're following along, you can check it out. And
Oh yeah, I'll put
hear what the whole
I'll
thing
put a
was.
link in there because obviously we're not going to sit here and read this whole thing. There are a lot of questions, and he answers a lot of them. and this is really good stuff.
Yeah, 'cause
Maybe I'll
I
just
tried to
read one.
I tried to catch in at the very end, and I don't think I got mine. I think somebody else asked a similar question earlier on, but
Oh, good. Yeah, of course somebody's going to mention the cheese.
not
That's
not
funny.
exactly the same way I asked it, but it was similar.
Mhm. So one person asks, what's been the hardest age to play as a character? Has it been
Yeah.
younger Ed going slowly insane on the moon, or senior Ed? Well, that was just because he was stranded there, or senior Ed on Mars, enjoying his last few months, just being a beloved asshole. And Joel Kinnaman says, I found playing 70 the hardest. When I study movements of 70-year-olds, it differs so much. You see a ton of guys moving more fluently than some 40-year-olds if they take good care of themselves. But at the same time, there's of course an expectation from the audience to see the difference. And yeah, that's very good, because we thought about that while we were watching his performance. That sometimes he looked like he was moving totally fine, and then sometimes he'd age it up a bit. So I think he found a good balance.
Yeah,
And I can
ultimately.
see how that was a challenge for him. So that'll be good enough. And yeah, so here's the link. I'll put it right in here. Where's my chat? I've got a chat here. I'm gonna put that there. If you're interested in For All Mankind and want to know more about Ed Baldwin's actor Joel Kinnaman, check that out. I'll be reading it myself later.
Mhm.
That'll be fun.
Yep.
And I hope you guys have a great Tuesday. It's still Tuesday. And we're going to continue talking about this show next week. Do
Yep.
you have any final thoughts about the episode before we head out?
I mean, it's kind of strange how this episode was sort of like because we had like a Ed arc in these first three, and now it's kind of like the whole show has been reset at this point, and now we have like an idea of where the overall plot's going to go for the rest of the season.
Yes.
And I'm excited to see how that all goes, because we're still maintaining a bunch of different threads. We have the Titan mission, and we have the threads of the Martian Revolution, but also you have the conspiracy behind Kurgan and what they're doing with this
the automated
labor
systems.
force that's not exactly
Whatever we learn about that, I think it's going to exonerate Lee, and so we've got to revisit what's happening with him too. And the Soviet Union is finally collapsing.
That too. I mean, we have Lee's been living in that ISN base for like a month now, and we haven't seen him since. So we'll have to see how that shakes out.
Yes. We will. Yeah, there's a lot of good storytelling going on. Very interesting. I'm glad we're finally on our way to Titan. So that means next episode we should get there, right? Hopefully.
I mean, it seems like every time we do these things, it's like, well, they're going to stretch this out, and then they don't, and they bring it up. So it's a good bet.
Yeah. I want more. So I still like it. We're gonna keep watching it.
Yeah.
So everybody have a great Tuesday. I'll see you around. Let me find my closing videos. That'll probably it didn't knock you out. Nice.
No, very good.
All right.
Well, see you, folks.
Yeah, see you later. I do have an outro. Here it is.
Learn all that is learnable.
So I hope you learned something today.
And the ways our differences combine to create meaning and beauty.
I enjoy hearing what you have to say. So leave me a comment.
It has always been easier to destroy than to create.
So let's continue creating conversations and ideas.
May we together become greater than the sum of both of us.
Share out the stream to bring more here. Bye for now. See you next time.
Well, now you have something new to think about. Carry on.
All right, move along. Done. Stop it. Get off of the things. Go outside. Get some food. It's like, it's a time of day where you live. Go do something. Shut up, Snoopy. I don't care. You smoke too much. Let's go. Let's go adventure. Let's go explore.